it's Sydney Rose, and I'm in my craft room, so you know that that means it's another art video. So I'm bulk filming a lot of these intros at the same time, so I'm not sure when this video will come out in comparison to my other custom bag chain videos, but today I'm going to be customizing this rabbit from Baby 3. So I pulled this guy from the Macron Cute Bunny series, and there's all of the options. I'm happy with this one because I like green. I do wish I would have got a black one maybe, just, you know, match my aesthetic, but I have time. I have options to finally get one, but green is my favorite color other than black. So it's December right now. You can peep at the Christmas nails. I finally fixed my nails after the last few videos. This little guy, he did come with a hat. I don't know where it's at right now, but you can see my art desk is super chaotic, so maybe we'll find a hat later, but I think I'm gonna get a sweater for him because, like, I like the overalls and it's very much like a cute little farmer vibe, but you know me, I gotta customize this guy to make him a little bit more alternative to match my aesthetic. So yeah, I think they're cute, but I think they gotta go. The fun things I love about Baby 3s is that their faces are super interchangeable and customizable. So you can just pop this bad boy out and then replace it with another one. So I actually did that with this one. I replaced this one's face with my billionaire cat one. So you can just mix and match, swap all the things you want to do to them. And that makes customizing it really easier because all I gotta do is pop the face out to customize it and then pop it back in without having to worry about getting anything on the fur, or if I decide to dye anything, getting it on the vinyl face. Which, you know, if you've been following me since my first custom bag chain video with my Lafufu, you know I had a hard time when I accidentally dyed the vinyl, so this is like a lifesaver to me, and I'm very, very excited that that is an option. But I do think I'm going to keep this guy green because, like I said, green is my favorite color other than black, and I like him. I like that you can move the boba eyes for the Baby 3s as well. I'm sure I'll talk more about them in my voiceover because it's easier to write a script instead of just talking to the camera. But look at all of his little cute face details. But alright, let's get to it and let's customize this little guy. So this will officially be my second Baby 3 customization video that I'm posting, so if you didn't see my first one where I customized a purple billionaire cat Baby 3, you should check that one out after this video. But after the Labubu craze, Baby 3s have entered the arena to compete. There are definitely not as many custom Baby 3 videos on the internet, but honestly there should be because of how customizable these little guys are. Baby 3s are similar to Labubus in the fact that they are a vinyl, blind box, bag charm plush. Where they differ is the sheer amount of types of Baby 3s you can get. There are so many different series, and even if you get a duplicate fur color, the faces are completely random, so you never know what face you're gonna get. There are different rarities between faces. With my green bunny that I am customizing today, I got boba eyes, which are the most common eyes you can get on a Baby 3, but I honestly really love how derpy they make the plushies look. Some of the customs I'm showing on screen right now that I've found on TikTok are insanely talented and creative. I've seen many creators customize their hair in a very intricate detail. And as a side note, the little circle on top of the Baby 3's head, I've only seen it referred to as their hair, but honestly, I don't really feel like it looks like hair, but for the purpose of this video, I will be calling it hair. But again, I don't really think it looks like hair, but I don't really know what else you would call it, and calling it the circle on top of their head is just a lot to say when you're reading off a script about the process of customizing a Baby 3. So, did I just break the fourth wall by explaining that? Anyway, let's get into the custom. I started by popping off the face of the Baby 3, and then I got started on the hair by painting it green with my paint marker. But I really didn't like the color, so I layered another green on top. This is important for later. I painted over the nose and the smile with my black acrylic marker, and then I decided I didn't like the green on the hair again, so I changed it again and painted another layer on. I personally love brush tip acrylic markers for blind box customs. I eventually want to revamp my custom Lafufu because she's looking rough. I completed that custom with acrylic paint, so I think it would be fun to redo the details with acrylic markers instead, but back to the Baby 3 I'm currently customizing. I colored some of the face details black and green so they would match better, and then I decided to give my Baby 3 a mani-pedi and paint the nails and the toenails green. The details on this Baby 3 were so small that I was struggling to get them right, so I did use acetone to start over and try a few more times. I was using my finest tipped acrylic marker, but even that was a struggle. Regardless, I persisted because that's what I do, and I refused to have a failed custom. While taking a break from trying to get the face details right, I decided I wanted to change the hair color yet again. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was struggling to get this one the exact way I wanted it to, and I had done many layers of purple over my baby 3 cat's hair, so I didn't think this was an issue, and there was no way I could predict what was coming next. Without knowing the impending doom that was sure to be upon me, I worked on the face details again. And I got decidophobia on the hair color again and again. Like, girl, just make up your mind already and pick a hair color. It really can't be that hard, right? Listen, it had to be perfect, and I was just not vibing with any of the greens I was choosing. I didn't have an acrylic marker that perfectly matched the green or the tone of the fur like I did with the billionaire cat from my last baby 3 video, and I just really wanted it to match. A girl can want her baby 3's hair to match his fur, alright? But that is what led to my downfall. Okay, so something interesting happened. While I was letting the paint dry, like from the paint pen on this one, it started cracking and peeling. So I don't know if I did too many layers considering I was struggling trying to decide a color for it, but that is an interesting development. So I guess I'm gonna try to take some acetone to it and take it off and start over. I don't know, but my camera doesn't focus that close. But yeah, look at it, it's weird. I don't know what happened because it just started cracking and peeling up. I wasn't even really paying attention. I was doom scrolling on TikTok while I was letting it dry, and then I looked back at it and bam, it's cracked. So yeah, I hyped up my love for acrylic markers with brush tips for customs like this, and they did me dirty. Oh well, I guess, but back to the drawing board. Thankfully, acetone works very well on baby 3s, can't say the same thing for Labubu's, so that's a win for the baby 3s. But in this process, I did finally find a green I like best for the hair color, so that's a plus at least. So note to self, or if you're watching this for tutorial purposes rather than entertainment purposes, don't paint on too many layers of hair on the baby 3s with acrylic markers. Okay, I've done one layer and obviously it's like super streaky and we don't want it to be super streaky, so but I'm gonna let it dry completely just in case. Like I might even let it sit here for 15 minutes because that was really weird. This one isn't doing that, and I've done a lot of layers on that one. Obviously this is a completely different video because maybe this one will be out first or this one will be out first. I don't really know, but this one didn't do that. I mean, it's just chilling over there in my pile of art stuff. So yeah, I don't really know what happened. Probably the layering though, but would seem like that would happen to that one, but maybe it's just because I used one color. I used a bunch of different colors on this one. Maybe it was the metallic one I used. I don't really know. I guess we could see if it starts doing it to these little cheek details that I did with the metallic and go from there. This time, I gave the hair ample drying time in between layers because I didn't want a repeat of the hair cracking situation. After finishing all of the layers to make the hair as opaque as possible without going overboard on it, it was time to grab my jump ring so I could make some mock piercings for my bunny. While customizing my pin for Love Labubu's, I decided it would be much easier to glue silver beads to their ears rather than piercing them, so by the time I got to my baby 3 customs, I thought I could do the same thing with jump rings for jewelry. So instead of using an actual earring to pierce my baby 3's ears, I used a jump ring, separated it enough to fit over the ear, then super glued them into place. Honestly, you really wouldn't even be able to tell the difference between a real piercing and a jump ring on these toys because they have so much fur. Unfortunately, however, I did end up getting a good bit of super glue on my fingers and gluing my fingers together in the process, but nothing a bit of acetone can't fix. But remember, I'm just a girl making YouTube videos about customizing blind boxes. I am not a professional, and I do not recommend using acetone on your skin, so this is a do as I say, not as I do situation. The jump rings are actually a really great, cheaper alternative to buying bulk earring hoops for customizations like this. For my blind boxes that I customized with actual earrings, I used my old earrings that I don't wear anymore, so I wasn't spending any extra money. Buying jump rings in bulk is much cheaper than buying silver hoop earrings in bulk. For the sweater, I bought the same sweater off of Amazon that I got for my billionaire cat baby 3. I painted the cork emblem green, and then I used a Sharpie to draw on my little skull and crossbones logo that I've been using for all of my customs so far. I like the way they all match, but in different ways. They're all a part of my little blind bag plush army. And when I say army, I'm not kidding. I have a box full of these guys now. I started customizing a lot of them at the same time, but then I didn't get to work on any of them during February, so I'm hoping to be able to finish them in March or April, hopefully. but you guys know me, sometimes it takes months to finish my customs. But lastly, I added a gunmetal circle clip to replace the gold one because the gold just didn't really match the vibes I was going for, or any of my bags for that matter. And I was finished with my custom Baby 3 Bunny the Lovely blind box. And here he is next to his billionaire cat sister. I love how these guys turned out, and again, if you haven't seen my billionaire cat custom video, check that one out after this one, along with my other custom blind box videos. Customizing blind boxes may have become an addiction. I swear, I don't have a problem. Okay, maybe I do, but this brings me joy and it's not hurting anyone other than my bank account maybe, so it's fine. But I guess that's the end of the video, everyone. I have a lot more customs that I'm working on, and I have been working on since December, but at this current moment in time, none of them are done, so it might be a while before I post another custom blind box video, but trust me, they are in the works. I just have to find the time to finish them all. After I do though, what other blind box brands would you guys like to see me customize? Drop your ideas in the comments, and with that, do all of the things YouTubers ask you to do, so like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye!